Did you know that the average American spends 372 hours every single year driving a car? And if you're one of those folks, I'm sure I don't need to tell you that all of that time spent behind the wheel can really take a toll on your body. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how making one simple modification can help you to use all of that time to improve your posture and eliminate neck and back pain.
There are several biomechanical challenges that happen anytime you move into a sitting position. Naturally, this would spill over to sitting in a car. First, you're altering the curve of your spine. The more your knees move towards your chest, the more you're pulling the normal lordosis or secondary curve out of your spine. You're also ramping up pressure in your spinal discs and decreasing muscular activation in the muscles that are responsible for stabilizing and supporting your back. One of the ways to combat this is to maintain as much of the normal curve in your back while you're sitting as possible. So obviously, if your car seats have a lumbar support, you're going to want to crank that up as high as you can while maintaining comfort in your back. But there's one other factor in this equation that not a lot of people are talking about, and this factor can be used massively to your advantage, and that is the angle of the seat itself. Remember, the more your knees move towards your chest, the more you pull the curve out of your lower back and the higher the pressure in your spinal discs goes. But the opposite of that is also true. The more you can lower your knees while sitting, the more you will retain the normal curve in the lower back and reduce pressure on your spinal discs. Let me show you what this looks like in practical application. So I'm going to use this digital inclinometer to show you here, but the angle of my thigh is approximately 1.5 to 2 degrees in this position. You can compare that to a standing position where I'm at roughly 86 degrees. So 86 degrees standing, about 2 degrees in this position. And what we can do here as a strategy, if your car offers it, is a tilt function where you can actually dip the front of the leg downward or elevate the butt. This will increase this angle, put more curvature into your lower back, decrease pressure in your spinal discs, and increase activation of your lumbar support muscles. So to illustrate the damaging effects of the bucket seats in a car, I'm at the lowest tilt function in my vehicle, and you can see that my knee is very clearly positioned above my hip joint. And with the digital inclinometer, you can see that I'm actually at a negative 10 degrees in this position. Now I'm going to come here down to my tilt, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I tilt the front end of the seat down and the back end up, and you can watch that digital inclinometer change. And as we get to the peak of this position, we've gone from a minus 10 degrees to a plus 1. So a shift of a full 11 degrees is available just by using the tilt function if your car offers this. Now, if your car doesn't have that tilt function, then you can use a very simple tool called a seat wedge. A seat wedge is a simple, low-tech device, but notice how this wedge is cut. See how it's thinner here at the front margin and much thicker here at the back? This is going to accomplish exactly what we're looking for. It's going to drop your knees down below your hips, increase the angle here, and help to maintain that normal curve in your back. So remember, we were at about 1.5 or 2 degrees with our position when we were sitting flat on the stool. And now I'll show you with the digital inclinometer in exactly the same spot, 22 degrees at the hip. So we've pushed 20 degrees into this angle just by adding this simple, inexpensive tool. It's going to help retain the normal curve in your back, it can improve your posture, and it's going to offload a tremendous burden of stress from your lower back. The seat wedge can offer you a ton of benefit for not a lot of money. So if your car doesn't offer that tilt function that we were talking about at your seats, or your tilt function doesn't give you very much angulation, it doesn't go very far, you should definitely check out a seat wedge as a simple, inexpensive alternative.
If you're in need of a good, high-quality seat wedge, check the description down below. I'll put links down there for a couple of different options that I use and recommend. Beyond that, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button before you head out of here, and I'll see you next time.